This is your Cancer New Moon Outlook for July 17th, 2023. So, the new moon is at 24 degrees Cancer. And Cancer, what is Cancer? It's about home and family. It's a water sign. It's about protection and security. And at 24 degrees, the Cancer new moon makes a beautiful trine to Neptune retrograde at 27 degrees of Pisces. So this is a wonderful trine. It is connected with what? Our emotions. Yes, this can also be connected, especially where Neptune is concerned, retrograde, with anything to do with water, the environment, moisture, the oceans, and so on. And that is where both Cancer and Pisces are connected very much with heightened emotions, sensitivities, feelings, and so on. And even with Pisces, there is a certain connection with protection, the intuition, the 12th house. And Cancer is with with not the 12th house, but with the 4th house and family and the feeling of love, emotion, and affection connected with home and family. So this Cancer new moon is going to be very about our feelings and our sensitivities connected with our emotions regarding family and home, our sense of nurturing and how we want to protect our loved ones. And this being a new moon and with this beautiful trine to Neptune retrograde is going to come to the forefront. Also, Cancer is also connected with what? It is connected with children and nurturing as well. So, issues regarding youth, children, and protections, maybe even connected with issues regarding pregnancy, regarding all kinds of maternal, anything and everything that which is connected with children and our interests regarding children, the home, family, security, and so on. And with a new moon, which indicates new beginnings, there could be some information that is very important that comes about regarding these interests and somehow creating or starting a new beginning. How do we protect each other? What is our connection with home and family? What do we look to that keeps us secure? Now, this could also be not just personal, but on a more national or international level. There are going to be discussions regarding security, nurturing, children's interests, the family, and so on. And how can we become or be more sensitive to our needs of security? But because it is a new moon, this is going to be mostly something of a positive nature. Now, at 24 degrees of Cancer, we also have a beautiful sextile earth and water connection with Uranus. So that's extremely creative, but yet very grounded. This is a good time for really putting forth your original ideas. And Uranus, especially, is connected with the collective. So the issues right now of creativity, maybe that regarding fashion, the arts, and so on are going to be very prominent because of this wonderful earth water sextile with Uranus. Yes, indeed. Very practical and very grounding and sensible, connected with this new moon. And how can we take a very original approach, or how can we express our unique ideas regarding our protections? And Jupiter is still in Taurus as well. This is extremely grounding, as with Uranus and with the moon and the sun. And with Cancer as Taurus, we're talking second house of values by the fourth house of family, and also to some degree endings. We are talking about what? Security and financial security. So there's going to be some possible good or positive economic news at this time, or that which is regarding financial institutions, certain corporations, and investments, real estate, and money. So this is all going to be very prominent now between the new moon and the next full moon. Yes, indeed, this Cancer Taurus connection here. And this could be possibly a negative influence, especially because Uranus is in the picture here, but most likely because of the sextile between Uranus and the new moon in Cancer. Very likely we will have good financial news with the financial markets, as aforementioned, with investments, and even personally, anything connected with starting off businesses, projects, loans will be discussed personally. This is going to be very much the forefront in our lives now. This is the time that you want to start that financially stable project. This is the time you may look into loans or anything connected with banking, uh, real estate, anything financial, and your future. Very grounding connection with this new moon indeed. And Mars, the planet of action now, is in Virgo, and that in particular makes a wonderful trine Earth in Taurus by Virgo, also very grounding. So this kind of helps out this connection with Jupiter, kind of the connection with Uranus and the sun and the moon in Cancer, because of the trine with Mars and with Virgo. That exemplifies our connection with money and feeling more grounded, taking the sensible approach to all projects and businesses. And this is very good because it can help us build upon what? What is that new moon about? But security. So all of this right now during this full moon is going to be talk about investments, financial, everything, the market, the real estate. There may be a boom now, and our personal sensibilities regarding our personal businesses and the markets and so on and so forth. So some very good money news during this time of this Cancer new moon indeed. Yes, with that Mars, that really gives us the impetus to begin to save for a rainy day and really seriously grow our money and have financial and genius almost money insights to how to create more money and to plan for the future. So, good money news and very grounding during this time. Can't say that enough. Very positive. And we've got Venus, the planet of love and affection, at the later degrees of Leo. So, with that said, we are still feeling very warm and loving. And as always, anything with Leo, but especially with Venus, because this is how we express ourselves. This is all about our need to give and take love. Also, Venus is connected with the seventh house, and Leo connected with the fifth house. So, this kind of heightens this need or interest connected with, as with the new moon, with children's interests or discussions regarding children. Also, what is the fifth house? The fifth house is fun, it's speculation. To some degree, travel regarding vacations, fun, you name it. And what else? The arts. And so our personal style and all these interests and our feelings of love and expression of how we express our affection will become very prominent now as well. And of course, where this wonderful Cancer new moon is in your personal birth chart will also be of utmost importance. But in particular with Venus and Leo, and Venus with Leo, Venus is that which loves the material. It's very sensitive. And with Leo, there's a little bit of the show off in there. So right now, this is the time we really want the world to know about our individual selves, our creativity, and it's really just a good time for being very outwardly, very affectionate, almost showy in a way. But this is very good because Venus loves to be in the sign of Leo. And we've got Mercury, the communicator, also in Leo. So with communications and with Leo, well, this can be a bit of a fixed influence. So the good side is kind of like with Venus, we are very confident about what we want to say and somewhat stubborn because remember, Leo is a fixed sign, and in with Mercury, the communicator, we really want to broadcast what it is that we feel is of utmost importance. And with Leo Mercury there, we really don't want to hold back. We really want to project our opinions. We want to really just gather with groups and project whatever it is we have on our mind. And kind of like Venus with Mercury in Leo, this is a very proud position, a very strong time of strong opinions. And this is good, but it could be a little bit uncertain, especially if we remain rather narrow-minded or fixed within those opinions or insights. But certainly, Mercury, the communicator, there does have some very unique and somewhat unusual or eccentric ideas about relating or personal opinions during this time, and especially with Venus, although they are not conjunct. So the the thought here is to project what we have to say, be strong in our opinions, be very showy to some degree, really want to say what's on our mind, but at the same time, we will have to not become too stubborn about uh, disagreeing or creating conflicts and so on and so forth, especially because Mercury is creating a square off with Jupiter, and Jupiter, kind of like with the Leo influence, loves to kind of exaggerate, and both Leo and Taurus are fixed signs, so therefore very stubborn. So because of this connection, this square off with Jupiter during this new moon, it's one thing to have original insights, it's one thing to agree or disagree, but we will have to make sure that if we have any conflicts, that they don't get out of hand now, because remember, Jupiter really loves to exaggerate and kind of make a big deal out of things. So that's the connection here with this square off with Mercury. Have conflicts, agree to disagree, but things could get too out of hand if we let them become, with topics or discussions, a bit over the top. Yes, indeed. So be mindful of speaking your mind, but not getting too carried away into over the top disagreements. And that's the key here. Yes. And we have also Saturn yet retrograde in Pisces, and this is opposing Mars. And keep in mind, when we have a retrograde planet, as in Saturn, as in Pluto, now the powerhouse, and Neptune, it somewhat can bring out a bit of some negative influence within that planet. And with Saturn, Saturn is the planet of responsibility. It is the planet of delay and to some degree frustrations. And while Neptune is retrograde right now, even in the sign of Pisces, we may want to move forward, and Saturn wants to put on the brakes. And with this opposition with Mars, which is the planet of action, and its rulership is Aries, and Saturn is Capricorn, well, now that could only add to some of the frustrations. Not necessarily conflicts, although that is possible because of the depositor of Mars in Virgo is in fact Mercury in Leo. Yes, there could be some frustrations which lead to oppositions and conflicts, but it's more about our feelings of personal frustration. And Saturn is connected now with the 12th house, so there could be some frustrations or delays connected with health care, connected with our sensitivities and our feelings, and wanting to really express ourselves, because we're talking Pisces, we're talking the 12th house. That's all about our sensitivities and our emotions. So therefore, we may get tripped up a little bit with Mars and Virgo and opposing Saturn with really expressing ourselves. And therein lies the difficulty, is we may feel like we are misunderstood because of the lack of clarity in our communications right now, and also other frustrations regarding actions and really wanting to be on the move. or really wanting to just get things done, especially with Mars in Virgo and its connection with the sixth house and work, mundane affairs, yes, even to some degree, pets, and so on. And this also is connected with our health, diet, issues as such, somewhat like with Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So all these issues now may come to the forefront or maybe a bit of a frustration. And keep in mind, Saturn also deals with mental health, whereas the sixth house is more of a physical connection. So there may be issues or topics of discussion right now regarding psychology, issues of mental health, and so on and so forth. And also, yes, physical health issues with hospitals and institutions and the like. Now, we also have Pluto, yes, the powerhouse, and it is retrograde as well at the 29th critical degrees. And of course, Pluto in Capricorn. And what's Capricorn? It's the 10th house, it's status. It is the powers that be, government and structure. And keep in mind, Pluto is at the 29th degree, and like Saturn and like Neptune, also retrograde. And with all three of these outer planets retrograde now, it leads me to believe, because this is more connected with the masses, that there may be some additional frustrations now connected with, yes, government, the powers that be, institutions, corporations, you name it, because generally the outer planets are connected with the masses, with the public, and that type of theme. And with powerful Pluto there in the mix with these other retrograde outer planets, well, we may become very frustrated because we're talking retrograde here, and the depositor of Pluto is in fact Saturn and in Pisces, and it's a retrograde motion, and it's depositor of Neptune retrograde. So actually all three of these outer planets have the connection, which is with Pisces. So there is going to be some kind of a connection with what? What is Saturn? What is Pisces? About what? Deception. Yes, that theme about secrets, the unknown. There's going to be information that we feel we have to figure out. Maybe there's some information or some type event during this new moon where we are told information and we may not yet believe it, or we may feel that there is more behind the scenes kind of investigation or research that needs to be done, especially as aforementioned, we've got these three outer planets all retrograde, and that is connected with the masses, the public, and so on. So, yes, do keep a heads up during this time of this Cancer new moon regarding just what information we have to figure out now, and especially because to top it off, especially with the powers that be, we have an opposition to the full moon at 24 by 29 degrees Cancer Capricorn. Because so this is only adding to a little bit of frustration regarding our protections, regarding our security, or information regarding the family unit, and or children and the like. Also, that issue or topic of mental health now is going to come to the fore, especially with this Cancer connection and with Saturn retrograde in Pisces with Mars in Virgo. So, what is it that we are not being told? What information are the powers that be keeping from us? And this definitely is going to create some kind of opposition, or to be honest, perhaps a little bit of some upheaval publicly. What type of structure regarding the powers that be do we need to change regarding also information that the public needs to get in on? What is uh, information that we have to change? And remember, Pluto Pluto is always about what? It's about transformation. And with this opposition and retrograde Pluto at that in Capricorn, we need to transform something about government, something about the powers that be or structure. And yes, that could also deal with physical structure. Maybe there is need of repair, or yes, possibly an incident or incidences regarding physical structure, infrastructure, and so on. Any form of structure, whether it's leadership, and sometimes that this can take the form of this tension within the infrastructure and a breakdown and repair of such. But nonetheless, with Pluto there and at 29 degrees, yes, we may have to repair and fix where there is a breakdown with the powers that be, with information being held, or actual physical structure indeed. So, this will be a rather powerful new moon. Yes, there's going to be the need for transformation, both physically and, well, emotionally within society and connected with the powers that be. And in fact, there could be very positive or questionable changes afoot with leadership or with other information regarding what we are told. We may have issues also with what? Psychology, mental health. Also, keep in mind the connection and issues regarding liquid, minerals, and water because of Neptune's retrograde condition. And if we keep our eye to money and growing our money and possibly investing and starting new projects and really growing our money, this is a surplus during this time of the Cancer new moon. Yes, we have strong opinions now, but if we don't exaggerate those insights and opinions, and we don't let those opinions, with especially Jupiter squaring Mercury, get out of hand, and we can really agree to disagree or negotiate and really express our creativity and our unique ability to the forefront, then the Cancer new moon will be one that is memorable and, yes, rather intense. If you'd like to get in touch with me, my contact information is down below. I give one-on-one readings and written reports. Please subscribe to this channel and press the bell notification. Until next time, many, many blessings.